So I walked up and I saw they had a person pinned on the ground yelling at him to stay down, and there was broken glass in the bus stop, and then they moved, like it was some sort of construction vehicle or something along those lines, and they moved the vehicle, and that's when we saw two National Guards on the ground, and one they were trying to resuscitate.
Man, talk about a wild plot twist in the middle of a regular DC afternoon. One minute folks are grabbing iced coffees and minding their business. Next minute, the streets just blocks from the White House look like a scene from a high-budget political thriller. If you think Washington has seen it all, stick around, because this story has layers that'll hit you harder than rush hour traffic. So let's kick this off with the location, because it wasn't just somewhere in the city. Nope, this all went down near 17th and I Streets, basically a stone's throw from the White House. You could literally feel the political oxygen in the air. People were out walking, heading to work or lunch, thinking it was just another day in the Capitol. Then, bam, gunfire breaks the whole rhythm of the neighborhood. When violence erupts that close to the nerve center of American power, it hits totally different. It wasn't random, it was a wake-up call. And trust me, the vibe only gets more unsettling from here. Now picture this. You walk up expecting maybe construction noise or traffic drama, but instead you see someone pinned down on the ground while cops yell commands. That's exactly what witness Michael Ryan stumbled into. Add broken glass all over the bus stop, emergency responders scrambling, and two National Guard soldiers lying on the ground, one receiving desperate resuscitation attempts. It wasn't the kind of chaos you mentally prepare for during a lunch break. Ryan said the whole moment felt surreal, like your mind couldn't catch up with what your eyes were seeing. And just when you think this story stabilizes, nope, here comes the curveball. Authorities quickly detained a suspect identified as Rahmanullah Khanwal, a 29-year-old Afghan national who reportedly entered the U.S. through a special visa program after America's Afghanistan withdrawal. The dude was wounded during the confrontation and immediately taken into custody. Investigators still haven't pinned down a motive, which keeps the whole situation in a fog of confusion and speculation. Was this targeted? Was it spontaneous? Was something bigger brewing? Right now, all we know for sure is that the attack rattled law enforcement and political circles instantly. And if the attack wasn't enough, the response sent the city spinning. Within minutes, downtown Washington snapped into emergency mode. Streets were blocked, federal units rushed in, and people suddenly found themselves stuck behind barricades with no clue what was happening. Imagine walking out of a sandwich shop and getting greeted by a full lockdown. Not exactly your typical DC sightseeing moment. The air got tense, the sidewalks froze, and the city's confidence took a hit. For a capital that prides itself on tight security, seeing this kind of breach unfold right in its core was a massive gut check. But hang on, because the ripple effects didn't stop there. To push back against the shock and uncertainty, officials rushed in additional reinforcements, around 500 more National Guard troops on top of the 2,200 already deployed. That's a serious show of force for a city already feeling the weight of heavy security. But this raises a big question. Does throwing more boots on the ground make people feel safer or just more on edge? When guard patrols start looking like active military zones, public confidence doesn't always rise. Sometimes it shakes even harder. If you want real news with real energy, minus the sugarcoating, this is your spot. Hit that like button, smash subscribe, drop a comment, and stay plugged in to @GlobalPulseNewz. The world isn't slowing down, so neither are we. Stick with us, and you'll always be one step ahead of the next headline that shakes the nation.